Well, today India marks the 12th National Handloom Day, a day that honors not just a craft but a civilizational identity woven into every thread of this country's history. And this year's celebration carries special weight, marking more than a decade since the observance began. Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Dive. My name is Vineet Malhotra. Let's start with why this date matters. Well, August 7th isn't arbitrary. It marks the anniversary of the Swadeshi movement, launched at Calcutta Town Hall on the 7th of August in 1905. That movement called on Indians to boycott foreign goods and embrace indigenous products, handloom textiles chief among them. In 2015, over 100 years later, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated August 7th as National Handloom Day, bridging our historic struggle for self-reliance with today's vision of vocal for local and Atmanirbhar Bharat. This year is the 12th edition of celebrating that spirit. Marking the occasion today, Prime Minister Modi released a special video message across social media platforms extending his greetings to the nation's weaving community. The Prime Minister urged citizens to take social media and post "Get ready with me" or videos wearing their favorite handloom attire. Listen in.
1905 7 अगस्त हमें भूलना नहीं है। 7 अगस्त 1905 को देश की आजादी के लिए स्वदेशी आंदोलन का प्रारंभ हुआ था और आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव डाली गई थी। अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ देशवासियों ने एक बहुत बड़ी लड़ाई लड़ी थी। जन जन जुड़ गया था। अभी पिछले सप्ताह आप सबने फ्रेंडशिप डे मनाया। मैं आज आग्रह करता हूं 7 अगस्त हैंडलूम डे होता है। हमने इतने ही उत्साह और उमंग के साथ हैंडलूम डे मनाना है और हैंडलूम डे मनाने का मतलब है कि हर गरीब परिवार, बुनकर परिवार जो अपने हाथों से अपनी छोटी छोटी घर में लूम पर कपड़े बनाते हैं और नई नई वैरायटीज होती है। आप देखिए ना क्या कुछ नहीं है और आप भी तो इस प्रकार से एक हैंडलूम की वैरायटी के साथ GRWM वीडियो करके जरूर दुनिया के सामने अपनी बात रख सकते हैं।
Well, the national function was held today at the Rashtrapati Bhavan Cultural Center in New Delhi. President Draupadi Murmu inaugurated the celebrations and honored weavers from across the country. Union Textiles Minister Giriraj Singh, Minister of State Pavitra Margarita and senior ministry officials were also present. The centerpiece of today's event, 22 awards for the year 2025, recognizing outstanding craftsmanship and innovation. That's 3 Sant Kabir Handloom Awards, the sector's highest honor, and 19 National Handloom Awards given for excellence in design, weaving technique and preservation of traditional skill. Alongside the awards, 4 commemorative postage stamps showcasing India's diverse handloom traditions were released. 2 publications are also being launched: Earth Root Thread, documenting all dyed handloom textiles of Central India, and the Handloom Award Book 2025. Let's also look at the scale of what's being celebrated. According to the 4th All India Handloom Census, India has over 35 lakh handloom weavers and allied workers. More than 72% of them are women, and the census also recorded over 28 lakh handlooms nationwide, with nearly 90% located in rural India. This isn't a niche craft sector, it's one of the country's largest sources of rural women-led employment. On the policy front, the ministry has been pushing digital identification for weavers through the ePehchan portal, launched in January 2025, giving artisans digital ID cards to access government schemes. And on the credit side, the concessional credit / Weaver Mudra scheme has sanctioned around 40,000 loans worth over 280 crore rupees between 2021 and June this year. The celebrations aren't confined to the capital. Districts across the country are hosting parallel events, exhibitions, sales, fairs, and even weaver-focused health camps as part of a wider push to take the celebration to the grassroots, where the looms actually operate. The broader framing from the government ties this day to the Vocal for Local Atmanirbhar Bharat push positioning the handloom weaver not just as an artisan but as a carrier of both cultural identity and economic self-reliance. From the hand-spun threads of our freedom struggle to high-fashion runways in Milan, Paris and New York, Indian handloom is no longer just domestic treasure. It is making headlines worldwide. Let's look at how Indian handicrafts and traditional designs are commanding international attention and sparking debates on global luxury platforms. Woven using century-old techniques in the Kashmir Valley, ultra-fine GI-tagged pashmina and intricate Kani shawls remain staple luxury buys in high-end European boutiques, prized for their unmatched warmth and delicate weave. From international red carpets at the Met Gala to global museum exhibits, hand-woven Banarasi silk saris and heavy gold thread Zardozi embroidery have become the preferred choice for international fashion icons and designers. Famous for their complex geometric resist dyeing technique, Indian fabrics are regularly sourced by global luxury apparel brands for contemporary international fashion lines. What is driving this massive global shift? Well, the key lies in strategic branding, global supply chains, and geographical indication or GI tags. With over 450 registered GI tags, India is legally safeguarding the unique geographic origin and authentic heritage of local crafts like Madhubani art, Chanderi saris and Kathak silver Tarakasi. By connecting rural artisan clusters directly to e-commerce and international trade expos, India is converting traditional heritage into a formidable economic engine. Women, who make up over 70% of the handloom workforce, are leading this quiet rural transformation, and from the humble charkha of 1905 to the high fashion catwalks of 2026, the story of Indian handloom is a story of resilience, identity and global pride. When we wear handloom, we aren't just wearing a garment, we are wearing centuries of history, culture and the hard work of an artisan family. From a colonial era protest movement to a modern national celebration, the story of National Handloom Day is the story of India choosing again and again to weave its own identity. Mithali Nikore, economist, is joining us on the broadcast to give us more perspective about what she thinks and feels about this. Mithali, how do you look at this art and craft splurge that India has been able to cultivate for itself as also being an economic binder?
Absolutely, Vineet. I mean, I myself have gone to so many craft clusters, so many handloom clusters, and today I'm celebrating National Handloom Day by, of course, wearing handloom and celebrating all my saris, my collection of saris, and I think all my friends are also doing the same. So very honestly, this is a situation where we are looking at strengthening handloom supply chains. We are looking at a scenario where the handloom industry, which is already providing, employment to millions of weavers across the country, should now link with export supply chains, and a lot of those are led by women-led enterprises. A lot of those are led by, long-drawn families who have been in this traditional craft for several decades. So very honestly, now is the time for handlooms to shine, especially in light of the free trade agreements that have been signed by India. And we are also seeing a lot of product diversification. I remember when I went to Varanasi or other clusters, 10 years ago when I was doing studies in those clusters, I provided, this guidance to a lot of cluster leaders that you are currently making saris. Why don't you think about making bed sheets, or why don't you think about making cushion covers or table covers, something which is actually bringing your heritage in a consumable fashion. And now we see that shift happening in craft after craft, and that handloom is now coming to different forms of the fabric, looking at different products are coming in. That product diversification really is the story that India can take forward.
All right, Mithali, appreciate you joining us. We'll take a short break on that note. Be right back.